Welcome to Computer Tech and More. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Novoo, Novoo 12-port hub. Connect your modern life. So I needed an upgraded device for my home office. We just got some new computers and they don't have the same ports on them. So I needed one for my home office because they don't provide us. So let's take a look at this guy. So I needed to be able to connect some old monitors, and I wanted to just simplify my connection process. So ideally, just one or two plugs. So it's got a pretty good looking USB-C on it. It looks like it's just made out of one piece. You can tell that it has a little crimp in the middle where they would take the metal and fold it around itself, which is in general an indicator for a better build quality. The frame on it, or the case, does appear to be metal, which is good. It feels cold to the touch, where plastic tends to feel kind of neutral or air temperature, while metal will generally feel cold. What on earth is that hole? Is that just for storage? Yep, that's just there for storing it, I guess. Oh, that's pretty hard to get in and out. But if you're going to be traveling, that may actually be a good saver for you. It's got a little that on it. So we got two HDMI ports. We got the box right here. 4K 30 Hertz for 2x outputs. Then we got up to 5 gigabyte transfer speeds on USB 3. So those are 5 gig. Did I misread the... And then two USB 2s, which is adequate for like your mouses, and I have a space ball that I need to hook up and that kind of thing. So that would be adequate. Not above adequate, just adequate. Up to 100 watt power delivery. And it's got mic audio on it. It's got a standard LAN port. Yep, just standard LAN, the VGA. So it basically covers all the bases that I need. So then it would come down to comparing it to all the other ones I've tested. Where is the price of this one for its capabilities at the right point? And of course, you got the different size SD card readers, which is useful in its own right. So we're going to give it its full test out. So it only has two USB 3 ports. Oh, there's power delivery. So we'll be hooking up two 10 gigabyte per second SSD-based externals to it and just testing out the full capability there. And of course, be hooking up monitors to it. I have two in particular that's VGA and HDMI. Basically, they're not 4K, but 1080p and just shy of 1080p. Just to check dual video output capabilities. Welcome to my multi-port series, where I'm going to be taking a look at a bunch of different hubs. I found myself needing a different one for my home office environment for when I work from home. So I'm going to be taking a look at basically this grouping to see which one best suits my need, if any of them. And I hope you stay tuned and enjoy. Speed test directly plugged in. And this SSD is the Sabrent Rocket Nano 1 terabyte. And this is the result. Now let's check it with some of the USB devices. Alright, I got the Novoo fully set up. VGA to a 1080p. Hang on. Let's get that set up. Okay. Now we got it fully set up. So we got the mouse cursor over there. We got the mouse cursor over there. And it is working absolutely perfectly so far. But let's do the crystal disk mark check. So this will be the data, basically high intensity load. So SSDs, NVMEs do put extra load on the hub, which draws more power and stuff like that than a bunch of other things. So if it can pass this test, it should be able to handle, you know, 2 USB 3 devices, even just one SSD, and then 2 other peripherals, so like a mouse, a keyboard. I need a spaceball for work, so something like that. And that should be giving it full functionality. Let's check over here and check removables. I, J, and F. It is doing perfectly. We see data speeds. Oh, that's a little bit low. Did it just finish its test? It may have just finished. Yep. So, 2, 4. Well, one of these SSDs is full on 10 gig speeds. So 200 megabytes per second is on the slow side because I would expect it to see by itself like 900 megabytes per second. So that's a little bit on the slow side. But there is oftentimes a run-to-run variance. Let's see how it does with write. So I'll check back in a second. Well, while that's still running, a couple things. So this does have power delivery built in, so you can hook up an external power supply and run it, and then you guarantee that no matter how many external SSDs or high power devices you hook up to it, pretty much will run perfectly. It's handling ports just fine. It's got the headphone jack. I'm sorry, I'm not aiming at SD card readers, 2 HDMI. So I think that this can still only handle 2 displays simultaneously. So you need to choose VGA or both HDMIs, depending on what kind of resolutions you want. And then the 2 USB 2s are perfectly adequate for like your mouse and keyboard. You won't notice any problems with that. And then you use these 2 USB 3s for your higher end devices. Okay, so that was my fault. This has actually got 2 5 gig ports on it, as opposed to 10 gig, which is what I was thinking originally, which explains those speeds perfectly. So, feeling the device, it's running fairly nice and cool. The speeds are as expected. I'm going to go ahead and stop the run because it's not about the SSDs at all. It's about the hub. So everything is as expected. I guess my fault. I thought that this was a 10 gig, but this is only 5 gig hub. But it is fully capable and would be perfect for a work type environment, meaning for using for my office computer. But it's just speed is overall on the disappointing side for future functionality because it's not 10 gig. 10 gig is what I consider, current gen. So this is last gen. It's not bad, it's just not as future capable. But it does depend on what your requirements are. If you just need to hook up a mouse and keyboard, absolutely perfect. Just need to hook up to your office LAN, perfect. But if you wanted to carry forward for faster devices that use 10 gig speeds, it's pretty much a no-go. So unfortunately, I'm leaving my review there. It certainly is a well-made device and looks pretty slick, but it doesn't have the full functionality that I think I'd be looking for. So anyways, thank you very much for watching my video. I hope to see you next time here on Computer Tech and More. If you've got suggestions for future videos, please leave in the comment sections down below, and have a great day.